David Cullen and the mega-hit Twilight Films, his new film called Water for Elephants. And it opens on April 22nd. I said a couple of months. I meant April 22nd, 1 month from now. Please welcome Robert Pattinson. Robert? Last time you were here, there we go. I had the best time talking with your parents. They really cracked me up. How are they doing, okay?
They're doing all right. I wish I brought them with me. It gives me, like, free material.
You know, well, you read that email from your dad last time.
I know. I was desperately sending them emails last night. Can you send me some material? I've got to be on Jay Leno tomorrow.
Was he okay? Was he okay with you reading his email?
He was fine. He went outside and signed autographs. So
really? Oh, yeah.
Everyone was calling him Big Papa at the end.
Now, I heard he was influential in your choosing this career. Is that true?
I'm kind of, sort of passively influential.
Yeah.
He saw some pretty girls down in a restaurant one day and said, and decided to go and ask them where they came from. And they went to the drama club, and so I ended up going down to this place, and that was it.
It worked out. Wow, okay. Now, you grew up, you had 2 older sisters, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Did they pick on you? Or
They occasionally wanted to... They occasionally called me Claudia and stuff when I was younger, but like, that kind of ended when I was about 6, I think.
Well, they didn't dress you up or anything like that, did they?
No, I occasionally like to put my hair in a little ponytail. That wasn't really to do with me.
You didn't have to wear hand-me-downs.
Actually, no, I kind of did. I think my hand-me-downs went from my dad to my sisters, and then I ended up wearing them at the end. So.
Oh, wow. So now, congratulations on the cover of Vanity Fair. Now, that's alive. I know the movie is Water for Elephants, so why the alligator? What am I missing?
I don't know. It's actually a chameleon. I was trying to do a sort of Boy George themed shoot. Boy George with a twist. Is that an Amish twist?
Is that? I mean, it's an alligator, isn't it?
Yeah, it is alligator.
Now, aren't they they're not known to be pet-like?
Petable.
I mean, yeah. How do they get them so... They actually look fairly calm.
They superimposed my hands. I was doing a little secret method with my real hands behind.
Really? No,
keeping him calm. No, not really. I mean, I don't know. They did some kind of probably nefarious scheme to calm him down, which worked for about a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, a picture like this takes like all day, doesn't it?
No, it took about 5 minutes. I mean,
Really?
If you got an alligator on your shoulders, you can only have it there for about 30 seconds.
Well, very cool. Now, I love this photo. This picture you in the article there. Now, that's no. Nothing to do with him. I love the car. What car is it? You know what that is?
I think it's like a vintage Oldsmobile or something.
Yeah, it looks like a 58 or 59 Oldsmobile.
It was nice, but I was talking to the girl who owned it, and she was saying it's an absolute nightmare to drive. It just breaks down every 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, they're enormous, and they drink gas like that. Yeah. Now, the last time you talked about your car, do you remember that? Did you fix it yet? Did you get it?
It's kind of lying in a garage somewhere, dumped. But it's kind of. I attempted to fix it, but then it was so filled with cobwebs and kind of. Yeah. And I don't know. I think someone was living inside it.
But you said something to me, which I like to work on cars. You said you're going down the street and the dashboard caught fire. That seems fairly rare. That the actual dashboard would catch fire.
The dashboard went on fire. The roof fell off when I was driving down the 101. The bolt in the middle of the chassis split, and the entire car. I took it to the mechanic, and he was like, "Yeah, how long have you been driving around in this?" And I was like, "I don't know, 6 months." And he's like, "There's absolutely no reason why this car is holding together."
Wow.
So yeah, that was.
So what are you driving now?
I'm driving. I just drive rentals. I have a Corolla for when I'm feeling economical, and then a Camry for when I'm feeling a little bit sporty.
Wow. And really, what's more sporty than a Camry? I mean, you pull into Bob's Big Boy on cruise night with that Camry. You are right there, my friend. Look, we'll take a break. More with Robert right after this. Hey, I heard you took a road trip. Is this your first road trip?
It was, yeah.
Where did you go? From where to where?
I went from LA to New Orleans, kind of roundabout all over the place.
Okay, so did you take like the back roads, that kind of thing?
Yeah, completely in the middle of nowhere.
Discovering America?
It is. I've seen more of America than I have of England.
Yeah.
So I've seen barely anything in England outside of London.
So tell me about locals. Did you run into sort of oddball people?
So I went to this place called Zuni in New Mexico, which, I mean, you drive through New Mexico for a little bit and you find places which don't seem to belong in America at all. I mean,
why? Why is that?
I mean, it's just like, it was right in the middle of the Native American reservation.
Right.
And you suddenly see this thing, it looks like kind of southern Mexico or something, suddenly out of nowhere. And we went to this, I think it was Labor Day weekend or something, and we went to this party where all the tribes had gathered, and it was it was fun. I mean, the weird thing was, as soon as I got out of the car, someone recognized a friend of mine, not even me, I wasn't even with them, and they were like, "You're friends with Rob Pattinson, right?" Like in the absolute middle of nowhere. But
and these Indians, did they pass the peace pipe around?
I don't know. I didn't stay for that long. I went. I think I just had a hot dog.
A hot dog? It's traditional Native American fare. Yeah. So did you get through Texas too? Texas is the biggest. That's the big one to cross.
Yeah, Texas is. I mean, we went through a couple of places in Texas, in Lubbock. Did some karaoke in a bar in Lubbock.
You did karaoke?
Yeah.
You know, Lubbock is one of the few places where you can stand up to your neck in mud and still have dust blowing in your eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the great thing. That's the great thing about it.
And the weird thing, I didn't realize it was where Texas Tech was.
Yeah.
And so the town was totally empty, but there was a football game going on. So I had no idea but there are like 36,000 students or something, like right next to where I was. And me and my two friends are sitting in this bar singing like, "I Believe I Can Fly" and stuff, in an empty bar for about 5 hours. And then suddenly the whole place gets rushed by about 20,000 people.
Wow.
But
did you get any Texas beef jerky?
I did, yes. I got tons. I got a lot. In this place, I mean, I got what was apparently the original Dr. Pepper. There was this woman in the middle of nowhere in the greatest jerky shop in the world.
It's the greatest jerky shop in the world?
I think it's literally called the greatest jerky shop in the world. And they were saying the only thing they sell is beef jerky and this stuff in the original Dr. Pepper. And so I bought all these cases and wow, original Dr. Pepper. And I looked in a 7-Eleven and it's exactly the same as normal Dr. Pepper. It's like even someone in a shop which only sells two things still tries to scam you with
exactly. So did you bring any of the jerky home?
I think that was pretty much the only thing I ate the whole way across, so it was all gone.
You know, I called that place, and look, I had them fly some in for you.
Are you kidding me?
This is the one you want. Is this the one?
I think it really is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
See, that's when you know you're a star, when you have jerky flown in.
That's amazing.
See, that's the one. So there's your dinner right there.
That's a big thing. I don't know, that will last me like at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Now tell us about Water for Elephants. Tell us what the film's about.
It's about a circus, and it's about a guy, a Polish guy, who runs away from. He has a terrible tragedy in his family and has to leave his town, and basically jumps on a train and finds out it's a circus train, and it's about his life afterwards. He becomes a vet in a kind of C-rate circus, ends up falling in love with the star attraction, who's Reese Witherspoon.
Now, you had an experience with one of the elephants, correct?
Yeah.
And they're incredible animals, aren't they?
They are. I kind of want to be an elephant.
Well, if you eat enough of this beef jerky. Well, tell us about that, because we have a picture here that's pretty. Explain what this picture is, because nobody's seen this photo. Explain what we're going to see. Do you know what's happening there?
This picture, I was asleep in the car, and the elephant liked the taste of my underpants. and so he went around trying to eat them the whole time. No, the first time I met Ty, the elephant, I got in her mouth. I just felt like it was a good place to be. Got in her mouth, and then she.
Was it scary when she picked you up?
No, not at all. They're incredibly gentle. They have these huge lips at the front. I mean, and the teeth are only way at the back. And so they put just enough pressure down to hold you in.
You know, we had an elephant on this show once, and he bumped me, and it was like a brick. I mean, he bumped me like a brick wall. They don't move at all. Yeah. You just get out of the way. They're so incredibly strong.
The thing, Ty, I don't know if she was a special elephant or something, but she was the most spatially aware creature
Yeah.
I've ever known. Considering, I mean, it's like someone who could amazingly parallel park.
Yeah.
I mean, considering they can't even see behind them.
Yeah.
She never stepped on anybody.
Wow.
But she was an intense creature. I mean, there was a time when Reese had to do some tricks and ended up rolling underneath underneath the elephant. And she went back on her hind legs and did the most incredible fart directly in Reese's face for a good 45 seconds. And
What a lovely story that is.
but it shows Reese's absolute commitment to the job. I mean, she completely just stood there and took it. Like, but I mean, an elephant's got a big eye.
It's a little bit of insight. Let's take a look. Here's the scene.
We don't get too far. There's a hotel in Salem. But don't stay longer than a night.
Just come with me.
What happened?
You think there's nothing out there for you, but there is. You just can't see it.
Jacob, you don't understand. I can't. You'll find me.
Elena, there's a better kind of life that's meant for you. Whether that life is with me or not, whether you love me or not, it doesn't matter. But it's got to be now.
Opens on April 22nd. Robert, thank you, my friend.